Hi everyone, it's Sharon here, and someone asked me recently what the difference between transfiguration and meditation was. And I answered the question, but I didn't feel like I answered it very clearly. So I thought I would do a quick video just to explain the differences. So, meditation and transfiguration often on the surface may feel similar. And the reason is because the experience can feel similar because we are kind of returning to the same source. Both meditation and transfiguration are a return to our true nature. And in returning to our true nature, the source is the same. But where they differ is in their intention, their purpose, and their practice. So I just thought I would go through the two of them and just sort of differentiate. So let's start with meditation. So meditation is a return to our true nature. But we wish to meditate for many different reasons, a great variety of reasons. But those reasons are usually personal. It may be that we wish to return to God. We wish to maybe surrender the ego. We may wish greater calm and peace within ourselves, to be free of suffering. We may meditate for our own health. There are many reasons that we may wish to cultivate a meditation practice. And they're all very beautiful and very lovely. And you know, whether it's you want to foster love and compassion within yourself, or whether you wish to know oneself more deeply, these are all very lovely things. But meditation really is primarily for your own purpose. So it's for oneself. Now, I'm not going to deny that returning to one's true nature, being more loving and compassionate, being more peaceful within, is not a benefit to others, because obviously it is. And, you know, often we may meditate for health, we may meditate for love and compassion for others. And so it's not necessarily confined to ourselves, but primarily meditation tends to be for oneself and to others secondarily. And transfiguration is kind of the opposite. So in transfiguration, we too are returning to our true nature, but we're seeing our true nature as it is, as light energy. We're seeing ourselves as a return to our true nature as light. And in doing so, we recognize our true nature, our divine nature, as light. Now, if you've done the transfiguration classes with me so far, you'll see once we've done that, that's only the very first part. We return or acknowledge ourself and our source. We return to our true nature as light, and then we radiate that light outwards. So that lightness that we are radiating outwards is not just for ourselves. It is so that we then take that light out and others recognize that they too are light. And in recognizing that they too are light, that is them returning as well to their divine nature, to their true nature. So when we start to see not just ourselves as light, but we start to perceive that same light in others, and the others are people, animals, plants, trees, everything in creation, as having that same divine light, we foster a respect, a recognition, a love for all of creation, and that is returned to us as well. And so we are acknowledging that we share this light because this is the light of consciousness that is in all things. And this divine perfection that we see ourselves, when divine perfection we are light, and we see ourselves in that, and others, we radiate that out, and others see it in themselves too. What it does is it kind of does this beautiful thing where we are out of alignment with our true nature, our true potentiality, we restore that gets restored back to its divine perfection. And it's a natural process of recognition, which is a very beautiful thing. I'm not saying I've perfected it yet. That's why we're doing a group. But it's a very beautiful way of connecting with our world. So, I think you would probably agree that humans aren't well practiced in this. That's why we practice in returning to our true nature. We're not well practiced in seeing the divine in others. And a lot of the world has come out of alignment with its true potentiality, its true purpose. And so a return to that is a great gift to ourselves, first of all, but mostly as well to others, that we're radiating this out and helping others to see this within themselves too, which, as you can imagine, is very healing. So transfiguration, therefore, is focused more on having that light radiate outwards, and that radiating out of your true nature, your divine, you radiate out, and that someone else recognizes its divinity within itself. Like I say, it's not just about humans, it's about plants, animals, everything in nature, everything in consciousness. And that's really like a beautiful invitation to return to its optimal, most beneficial, most thriving version of itself. Now, I often describe it as our original blueprint. So far in the 3 sessions of transfiguration, I've really been focusing on just kind of the effortless return to this state for ourselves. Just so we can kind of all get the hang of it, just so we can see how effortless and beautiful it is, and just to experience how lovely it feels. And that is not hard. That is actually quite easy. Meditation tends to have a reputation of it being hard, and it doesn't have to be, but people sort of think, it's quite difficult. So one of my goals with transfiguration was just to show people it's an effortless return to ourselves. And it hasn't really been focused specifically on helping others. It's just to experience it to begin with, just to sort of get the hang of it. But the ultimate goal of transfiguration, if you like, is that radiating out to the benefit of all creation. And, because when we acknowledge this within ourselves, it's a beautiful thing to share it and send it out into the world, and for the benefit of all. So you can, and if you've seen me write anything on this subject, you'll see I don't like to call it healing, and I don't like to call it a healing technique. And that's only because it's much more gentler than that, right? There's no egoic idea of healing involved. Often when people think of healing, sometimes there's an idea of fixing and changing and improving. And that's according to our own mind's concept of what is required. Whereas transfiguration is much more gentle, much more beautiful. It's just a return to our true nature. And we've just forgotten it. And it's a remembrance. It's an invitation to remember. So they are meditation and transfiguration. You can kind of see them as different in that respect. The experience of it both feels lovely. Now, you can do meditation and you can do transfiguration by yourself, but there is something that gets amplified when we come together for meditation and when we come together for transfiguration. And those who've been on the call, and I've said you can go ahead and practice this at home outside of the calls, they say they've tried it. It kind of feels nice, but it's not the same as when we come together as a group. And I noticed this. I know this to be true, and I think that's one of the joys of meditation and transfiguration and the era in which we're moving into. You may have heard me talk about how the era of I is over and we're moving into the era of we. And therefore it doesn't surprise me at all that we are now amplifying and noticing the amplification of energy when we come together. And I think that's an important part of where we're moving towards in society. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And so transfiguration, when you come together in a group, it really does feel very different than when you do it by yourself. So I hope that offers some clarity. Both are valuable, both are beautiful. The experience of both of them are lovely. And it's just really about the intention with transfiguration and meditation. Now, I'm still running them for free. They're both once a month. They're on Tuesdays. You can go to my website, sharonlawson.co.uk, and sign up. They're not going to be free forever, but they are free for now because I kind of just wanted everybody to share in this experience and get the hang of it and enjoy it and everything. So please do come along if it is of interest to you. And thanks for watching.